Now, here's something I've been waiting for a long time. I know places in the EU zone or countries have been trialing universal basic income. And I was very interested to see how that turned out. Is it actually going to be a good thing? Or is it pretty much a socialist nightmare where people who work give to people who don't work and fund everything? But then again, if everybody's getting a universal basic income, at least it's fair. But my thought was the whole time, everything is going to go up. Housing is going to go way up. Why? Because now everybody has an extra $2,000 a month to spend. Right? So naturally, prices are going to grab that and run with it. Next thing you know, the $2,000 a month is useless. And now you can't go backwards because now all the prices are up here. Therefore, the only thing you can do is increase the amount of money you're giving the people. And then the housing prices and other prices increase. And then you have to give the people more, right? So that's why you need a quote-unquote free open market. But I was still interested because what if it could work? Let's see. Zero hedge. Finland abandons universal basic income experiment after 2 years. Quote, I felt a great disturbance in the farce, as if millions of socialist voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something rational has happened. With high-profile champions such as Richard Branson, Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk backing the idea of governments giving non-working people money from working people to do nothing, what could go wrong? Well, 2 years after enthusiastically beginning its experiment with a universal basic income in which people are paid an unconditional salary by the state instead of benefits, Finland is abandoning the project as government enthusiasm wanes and additional funding requests are rejected. As a reminder, the Telegraph explains, universal basic income is a form of cash payment given to individuals without means testing or work requirements. In some models, this is at a rate sufficient to cover all living expenses. Proponents argue that, following four things, the lack of expensive means testing leads to a higher proportion of the budget going to recipients. This would be more efficient. The transparency of universal payments would drastically reduce the need to detect benefits fraud. One scheme could replace the current complex arrangement of government benefits, rebates, and tax rebates, and work will always benefit recipients of this welfare rather than the benefits trap that leaves part-time workers. And the critics argue that universal income may be inflationary and, in attempting to move all individuals out of poverty, it may simply raise the level of the poverty line. It may reduce the incentive to work, and studies have found some evidence to support this. And finally, a reduction in taxable income would reduce the government's ability to cover other expenses, such as healthcare. Universal income as a policy dates from at least Thomas Paine's 1795 Agrarian Justice. It is currently more closely aligned with left-wing politics, where it would be funded through income from nationalized assets. Several countries have experimented with a universal basic income, including Finland, Canada, Kenya, and the Netherlands. And now Finland has killed the plan. According to The Guardian, since January 2017, a random sample of 2,000 unemployed people aged 25 to 58 have been paid a monthly salary of about 560 euros, I guess, with no requirement to seek or accept employment. Any recipients who took a job continue to receive the same amount. Furthermore, the government has also imposed stricter benefits plans, introducing legislation making some benefits for unemployed people contingent on taking training or working at least 18 hours in 3 months. The government is making changes, taking the system away from basic income, Kayla Miska, whatever, told the Swedish newspaper. Of course, the liberal socialist glitterati are up in arms over Finland's decision. Olli Kangas, an expert involved in the trial, told the Finnish public broadcaster YLE, 2 years is too short a period to be able to draw extensive conclusions from such a big experiment. We should have had extra time and more money to achieve reliable results. Well, I mean, 2 years is a pretty decent amount of time, I would say. However, as we have previously noted, as automation and artificial intelligence destroys millions of middle-income jobs, permanently forcing primarily male workers from the workforce, Americans are beginning to reconsider their attitudes towards a radical policy tool that's popular among some segments of the left: universal basic income. According to fake news CNBC, a recent poll conducted by Northeastern University and Gallup found that 48% of Americans support the measure. In an association that's hardly a coincidence, the poll also showed that 3/4 of Americans believe machines will take away more jobs than they'll generate. Unsurprisingly, 65% of Democrats want to see a universal basic income, and 54% of people between ages of 18 to 35 do. In comparison, just 28% of Republicans support it. While proposals for universal basic income programs vary, the most common one is a system in which the federal government sends out regular checks to everyone, regardless of their earnings or employment. That system is being tested in Canada as well as Stockton, California, which recently emerged from bankruptcy but remains mired in poverty. Perhaps Finland's failure will wake some of the free shit army up that it can't end well. And again, if everybody gets it, the prices of everything goes higher and it just eats up, right? That equilibrium will hit so fast, it'll eat up all that extra income you just got per month. And now you're doing what? Paying more rent, paying more mortgage payment. That's it. That's the only thing that will happen. Rather than a cycle ending in which people get foreclosed, they file bankruptcy, prices crash down, the boom and bust cycle. It is a cycle that just never ends. Boom periods, bust periods, boom periods, bust periods. And now we're on the cycle where let's keep this infinite booming going. Sure, nothing can go wrong. And now we have an overinflated stock market, an overinflated housing market, insanely high. And here we are once again, stock market's dumping and cryptos are pumping. And as long as that trend continues, as the webbot has correctly forecast thus far, I think cryptos will keep on keeping on, because money over there is saying, I'm scared, and scared money don't make money, and I don't like what's happening over here. I'm going over where the cool kids hang out, also known as crypto land, the blockchain. And you and I greet them with open arms. Come on, we tried to warn you. It's all right. You're part of the club. Come on. We don't hate you. It's okay. It took you a while to come, but it's nice to have you. But a wonderful selection of all these cryptos over here. But they're fixed assets. They don't create more of them. And we happen to have a lot of them. All of us. And this is what the market price is today. So if you want some, you're going to get less than we used to get. Because it's more money now, right? But there's still time for you to do well too, my friend. Get in. Get in. He needs money. All seeing, all powerful, all knowing, but he needs money. And you need crypto. But don't get greedy. You hit those targets and you sell what you need to sell. Nobody ever gets hurt taking a profit. Don't forget that. Take care.